Hi guys, my name is Brooke and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I am positioned on my bed right now and you are also positioned on my bed on my tripod, so you might be rocking back and forth just a little bit because my dog is being a dog and sniffing around, walking around, so just give me a break. It's super rainy and stormy outside and there are sirens for like the past couple of minutes. There have been sirens, so just ignore those things because today I wanted to tell you a lesson that I've learned in the past couple of days about essentially chilling the F out. So yeah, let's get into it. So I have anxiety. I'm a really anxious person. I have depressive episodes, let's call them. And I just overall, like, I don't do so well when things don't go according to plan, or stop sniffing, please. I love my dog. I wish I would show you my dog, but it's a mess over there, so I don't want to show you. Sorry, I got a little interrupted, a little sidetracked because CJ called me, and when he calls, you know I gotta answer, and I've gotta be like, hi, like pretending that I've looked okay all day even though I haven't showered in 3 days. So anyway, sorry, I've got like these weird like hiccup burp things that happen all the time, so excuse me. But what I was saying was that I just got this new lip balm and I really like it, except like it gets on my teeth and makes them feel really waxy. Anyway, really beside the point there, but I've been feeling really anxious about work and going to work, working a long day. Like, it's just been really strange because I've been at my job now for over a year. I work in the restaurant industry, so it's pretty much the same thing over and over throughout the day. Like, ovulating. Now, obviously, there are always going to be difficult customers or, you know, people who are very particular. But for the most part, it's like having the same 10 conversations just with different people every single day. You know what I mean? And when my therapist and I were still seeing each other weekly, we did discuss me shortening my schedule. So I did. I shortened it to 3 days a week there. And it was because I was getting super overwhelmed and it was summer and it was just like, I was just feeling really anxious already. And for like different reasons, I think. None of this is gonna make sense because anxiety doesn't make sense. I recognize that all of this sounds really silly and kind of stupid and it's nonsensical. So if my words are really jumbled, that's why, because it doesn't make sense. So I was feeling anxious about work and I was also working 7 days a week, and so we decided to cut my schedule down. Well, now I'm definitely not working 7 days a week anymore and it's not as busy. And for some reason, I've still felt anxious about work. And I've also been exhausted because, and if y'all don't know, pregnancy is exhausting. I have been so tired, and like, it's gotten to the point now where I'm not just tired, my bones ache. If I'm standing up for, let's say, 4 hours or more, my back will start hurting really bad, my lower back and my ankles. And then if it's any longer than 5 or 6 hours, it'll be such intense physical pain. Like, and it doesn't, I knew that pregnant women felt pain and joint pain and that kind of thing, but I thought it was because they were huge, you know, and their body wasn't used to carrying so much weight. That's what I thought it was. So I was not expecting to feel pain until so much later in the pregnancy. Like 9 months, right? But it's true, like I feel so much pain if I do lots of standing or walking, and when it's super busy at work, I don't get the chance to sit down at all. And like today at work, after we hadn't even opened the restaurant yet, and I was like, I'm about to pass out, and I felt like I was gonna faint, and I just had to sit down, sip water, and eat some saltines because I was just like, I'm gonna faint. And it's just weird. Like, pregnancy does weird stuff to your body, it does weird stuff to your mind, and I've just felt anxious about working for that reason. So not like, oh my God, like what if we get busy? It's nothing like that. It's more just like, what if I have to stay for a long time and I'm in a lot of pain, or I pass out, or I do a bad job because my brain is super, like, it's just, it's a different kind of anxiety is what I'm trying to say. I'm like almost getting emotional talking about it because it's so frustrating to me, because my partner CJ works so hard, and he works every day, 16 hours a day. Like, he works so hard on such little sleep, and he's always had like a lot of joint pain, a lot of knee and calf pain and shin pain and back pain. Like, he's like an 80-year-old man in a 25-year-old's body, and he works so hard, and he does it not just because he has to, but because he wants to provide for me, for Passport, for our baby. I almost said her name, but yeah, and it's sad to me from my perspective that he works so much, and yet here I am doing only 3 short shifts at a restaurant per week. I mean, I do babysit, I do film videos, I do those other things, but like, comparatively, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Also, sorry about this atrocious lighting. I just realized it's not gonna get better. So there's that. But yeah, and so not only have I felt really down on myself, I've also just straight up felt useless and incompetent and just freaking bummed. Like, I feel exhausted all the time, and like I work so much, or like not that I work so much, but I'm like constantly doing stuff, but really I don't do very much. Like, I still have to sleep for like 2 to 4 hours extra a day. I have to nap, because if I don't, it's like a mess, and I'm so tired all the time. I cannot describe to you guys. Like, I thought that pregnancy was gonna be such a breeze for me, because it was like a breeze for my mom. So I was just like, yeah, it's gonna be totally fine, you know, like I'm gonna be great. But I think that she just must not remember how shitty pregnancy is, because she's like the only person I've ever known who's like, I don't understand people who are like, I just want this baby out of me because like I'm exhausted. Like, I was never like that. I loved being pregnant. Like, she just must have forgotten what it's like, because it's really hard, and it's been hard. Harder than I thought. And in some ways it's been agonizing. Not the pregnancy part or any of the symptoms of like any of my pregnancy symptoms, but just things that have come as a result of feeling this way have just been agonizing for me. And yeah. So basically I've just felt really down and really useless. And I've been so happy too at the same time. It's just, again, doesn't make sense, nonsensical. Hope somebody's still here listening, because I'm about to get to the good part. But basically, today I decided to do something about it. And I picked up 2 shifts this week. I picked up a Thursday and a Friday. And yeah, so now I'll be working 5 shifts at the restaurant this week, which is good because I bought a ticket to a dinner theater show just for myself, just ticket for one, because I've missed the last 2 shows, and previously I think I went to the like last 9 shows in a row, and it is really expensive. My ticket was $70 just for me, and you know I'm gonna get a piece of chocolate cake while I'm there. Like, it's gonna happen. So that's gonna be expensive too. But yeah, so I was just like, I cannot justify spending this money and not like picking up extra shifts. You know what I mean? Like, I've felt down about this enough. I've felt useless enough. It's time to do something about it. And you know what? If it sucks and it doesn't work out and my anxiety goes through the roof and I have a panic attack on Friday, then you know what? We won't do that again next week. We'll figure something else out. But so I did something about it. And not only did I do something about that job, I also have my Blue Yeti microphone sitting over there. And last night I was like, you know what? My videos could be so much better quality if I just figure out how to use this damn thing. Because CJ got it for me so I could build my channel and build the ASMR community that I'm already growing. And he was like, your videos will be so much better with this. He's right. But I'm like, I don't know how to use it. I can't figure it out. So I never, like, it's been sitting in my house for 3 or 4 weeks because I haven't been able to figure out how to use it. Your girl figured out how to use it last night. Unfortunately, I can only use it with my webcam right now because I still have to figure out how to, like, link the 2 audios. But I'm gonna figure it out. I am gonna figure it out either tonight or tomorrow, I don't know. But I'm going to figure it out because there's no point, if I feel stagnant, if I feel like, oh, I should be doing more, then why not try to do more? And you know what? If I fail miserably and I end up passing out onto one of my tables at work on Thursday, bummer. We'll try again tomorrow. You know? Like, it's... And I am a really anxious person, so don't think like, oh, well, she can only say that because she doesn't have to deal with what I do. I do, girl. I really do. And I'm gonna give you another example about chilling the fuck out. So yesterday, I had my SIM card, or my SD card, not my SIM card, which is the little memory card that all of your videos and pictures are saved onto when you're using your camera. And I had that yesterday, and I had filmed a video. I had taken a bunch of maternity, like not maternity pictures, but pictures of my bump for the 17-week mark. And I went to put it onto my computer. And for some reason, my computer would not read the SD card. And I sent CJ a message and I said, I'm trying not to panic. Because that's an instance where I would be like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose everything on that card. I'm gonna have to refilm that video. I'm gonna have to retake those pictures. I've already changed out of my outfit that I was wearing in those pictures, and I was really proud of that video. And like, my mind just starts racing like that, where it's like end of the world, but really it's just an SD card that doesn't work. Who cares, you know? But I was like, I'm just gonna calm down, because he called me instantly too. He was like, what's wrong? And I explained the situation, and I was like, you know what, CJ, even if this card is completely destroyed for some reason, even if my laptop is broken and that's the reason why this card isn't working, there's nothing I can do about it. There is literally nothing I can do about it, so I'm not gonna panic. I will not let this scare me. I'm not gonna let it freak me out. And he was like, look at you growing up. And I was just like, is that what I'm doing? Like, about time. But no, and yeah, so I was like, well, before I panicked, I was like, let me check my other SD cards and see if those work. And guess what? They did. And so I was like, okay, so it's just this card. Thank God it's not my computer, because my computer is really old. There are certain parts of it that don't work anymore because I got it, my parents got it for me like 5.5 years ago. And for a laptop, in laptop years, that's like a 15-year-old laptop, okay? So it doesn't work perfectly. The sound doesn't work. The only way you can hear any sound on it is if you listen with headphones. So I was really thinking that it wasn't the SD card that was the problem, that it was the whole computer that was just fucked up. Sorry, excuse my language, whatever. And so, yeah, we're all adults here. But yeah, so finding out that it wasn't just the computer itself was just such a relief. And I was like, I'm glad that I didn't panic and freak out and think, oh my God, now I have to spend $2,000 on a new laptop. How am I gonna figure that into the budget? You know what I'm saying? I just relaxed and I calmly checked all of the other SD cards. And I was like, okay, so it's just this card. I better go refill, like get ready, like get dressed again, do my hair again, go take the pictures outside, go film this teeth tapping video and all of that stuff. And then I was like, wait a second, before I go to all of those measures, I'm gonna calm down a second time and recenter myself, and I'm gonna think, what else can I do to try to make this work? So I like kind of worked with the card a little bit. Like I experimented with pushing it all the way in, and then I was like, well, maybe it's not that it's not going in far enough, maybe it's just not registering. So I pulled it out a little bit, just little by little, to see if maybe it just like wasn't syncing up for some reason. And what do you know, it worked. And so the SD card wasn't reading very well, but it was because you just had to like kind of, you know, mess with it. So instead of sticking it all the way into the slot in the laptop, I just left it out a little bit and it worked. So I didn't have to refilm anything, didn't have to get a new laptop, didn't have to bring it into the Geek Squad. I just figured it out. And if I hadn't remained calm and centered myself and said out loud to myself, I'm not going to panic about this because there's nothing I can do regardless. There's something really comforting to me about knowing that there's nothing that I can do. As funny as that sounds, but it's kind of like if I knew for a fact that a meteor was going to crash down into Earth tomorrow, I think I would be a lot more calm than, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just because, like, it's a certainty. There is nothing we can do. You know what I mean? Life is gonna happen the way it's gonna happen. If I dropped my phone in the toilet and didn't realize until the next day, the phone is dead. There is nothing that I can do about that. And yeah, I could totally freak out and be like, holy shit, now I have to spend $800 on a new phone. What am I gonna do? All of my pictures were on that phone. Oh my God. Yeah, I could totally do that, but what good would it do? The phone's already wrecked. You know what I mean? So I was like, either the SD card is ruined or the laptop is ruined. Either way, it's out of my hands. I can't do shit about it. And it really helped to calm me down. So yeah, sometimes that's just a little thing that helped me. And then another thing that happened was, like I told you, my sound on my laptop is broken. And I was trying for like an hour to get my Blue Yeti to work, but for some reason, every time I would try to record something, it wouldn't record onto the computer. But it was registering, like it said, oh yeah, use the Blue Yeti. But every time I would speak into it and press record, it just wouldn't work. And I was like, great, so my sound is broken. So I just assumed that that's why it wasn't picking anything. I don't know what I was thinking. But basically what I thought was, I'm gonna have to get a new laptop anyway, or this mic is gonna be completely useless because there's nothing I can do with it if it can't go into my computer, if it can't work. Come to find out, before I panicked, again, this was like on the verge of panicking, but I hadn't panicked yet. It was more just like, oh shit, like bummer, this mic isn't gonna work. I realized that the mic had been muted the whole time. So that's why it wasn't recording anything, because it had been on mute. So again, I didn't panic. And even if I had panicked, what would it do? You know? And because of those two things, I mean, there's a little part of me that's like, maybe because I didn't freak out, nothing went wrong. Maybe if I had like totally lost my shit, I would have to get a new laptop. I know that's not really how life works, but I kind of felt rewarded almost, like, wow, because I centered myself and I controlled my anxiety and I controlled my emotions, this was rewarded to me. You know what I mean? Nothing is wrong, and it felt good, you know? It felt really good. So yeah, this video was kind of all over the place, kind of probably didn't make any sense at all, but I really felt the need to speak on it because it's been very impactful, especially because I haven't been able to go to therapy. It's been really hard for me just to kind of get through day-to-day things without losing my mind, because my therapist is wonderful and we connect on such a deep level, and she supports me and listens to me because that's her job. So not having her, especially being pregnant, excuse me, and going through all of these new experiences and new things and new hard things, like not having somebody to talk to who I know will just be on my side no matter what has been really, really tough. And it helps my anxiety a lot to talk to somebody every week, since I feel like it's releasing some of the anxiety, you know what I mean? So not having that, I haven't been doing the greatest with it, but I haven't been doing the worst. And it's kind of been eye-opening, because I thought that I was just going to totally fall apart without her, and I haven't. Granted, I'm still stoked for her return. I cannot wait, and I know that my life will be much better with her in it again, but I feel like I'm figuring out slowly but surely how to do it on my own. And it's been a while without her, and I've really missed it. I've missed therapy, I've missed her, and I've missed just having that release that I can't get with a friend or a family member, you know, I just can't. So yeah, maybe I am growing up a little bit, or maybe I'm just figuring out slowly but surely how to manage my anxiety and my mental health. So, too long, didn't watch. If you've skipped to this point in the video, what I've learned is don't stress and freak out about things that are completely out of your control anyway. And if you do stress or freak out, that's fine. Just don't do it for too long, because it's not going to do anything for you anyway. It's not going to make anything better. It's not going to make anything go away. It's not going to make anything easier. It's just going to make it harder on your body, harder on your mind, and it's not going to do shit for you. And then maybe if you don't freak out one time, or 2 times in my case, you'll get rewarded with good things, and good things will come back to you, right? Maybe. And then the other thing is, if you don't like something about your life, take some baby steps to change it. And if you're feeling useless, if you're feeling like, oh, I should work more, if you're feeling like, oh, I should exercise more, or oh, I should write in my journal more, or give my dog more treats or more love, go for more walks with her, or whatever, any of those things that you're thinking of, just take little baby steps to try to feel less useless, because you're not useless. You're just going through some shit. And sometimes you gotta go through that shit, and you just gotta like curl up into a ball and cease to exist outside of that ball. But other times there are things that you can do to better your life. And you know what? Again, maybe it won't work, and maybe I'll get to the end of this week and be miserable and in pain and crying and sad. Or maybe I'll be like, wow, I feel so much better. I'll feel like I'm really contributing to my family a lot more. And, you know, it feels good knowing that I took a couple leaps this week, and yeah, I feel good. I feel really good. And I haven't been depressed and anxious and sad all the time. I've literally been so happy most of the time. It's just been about certain situations, like work. Every time I go into work, it's like I don't know. It's weird. It's just really weird. It's been a weird last few weeks, because I don't know exactly what I'm feeling, because I don't have a therapist to talk it all out to, and she can help me figure it out, you know? But we're getting there, you guys. We are getting there, and I am so grateful to have you here. I'm so grateful that you're watching this. If you somehow made it to the end of this, I really like doing these long, rambly, chit-chat videos where I can just speak my mind. And you know what? If you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me. But if you do, then at least somebody else can just sit there and listen like I'm talking to a friend and be like, yes, hell yes, queen. I relate, or good job, or whatever. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do on this channel. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Regularly scheduled programming will be back eventually. Yeah, and I will. Sorry, apparently my SD card was full, so it stopped recording, but I'm gonna cut myself off anyway. What I was trying to say was I really enjoy just doing these long chit chat videos and being able to speak my mind. And if you like them too, please let me know in the comments, and subscribe and follow my Instagram as well. And it'll be like on the screen and then also in the description box and everything. And there are a couple cool links for you to check out, like my PayPal, you know what I'm saying? Just kidding. But I will figure out how to use my Blue Yeti microphone and my high quality camera, and I'll be able to make a lot better ASMR videos for you. And yeah, I've got a lot of baby stuff coming too, so if you're here for the baby stuff, then yay, you can enjoy all of the things. But thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.